video conference talk that I've never done one of these before.
Well, the rally was a little bit shorter than usually, right?
Well, the rally. Sorry, is that a question for me, or is it?
Yeah, no, I know. I say it was shorter than normally. One day too short. It was a pity.
It was a pity, but on the other hand, well, sorry. There is one thing I want to say publicly. I want to say hello to Marcus, because Marcus, we know each other through my uncle, and I was waiting to see maybe I should talk or not, but I have to mention that Marcus is probably the most professional person we have in this club, and I mean it. I want to say it publicly, and it's an honor to share with all of you. But because I have this relation that long time not on the phone, not silence, that I have nothing against him all the way around. I know that he's a mega professional, so I just want to sure that he knows that this is the way I think about him, Marcus. Then I call you if you want later. We have a quick personal chat. But
thank you very much, Tony.
Thank you, Marcus. Back to Stefan. I have to. Well, we're going to be going straight to the point. I think you guys can't imagine how difficult it was to run the rally this year, because the amount of people on Thursday already saying, "But are we going to raise?" Sorry, already Wednesday. And say, yeah, we are. And the thing is that because there are many red tape. This is the name. This is how we call it in English. There is a lot of red tape behind the organization of a rally, especially in Spain. So one of the things that we have in our rally is that it's not a local rally, but it is a national rally. So our rally is under the supervision. We call it sanction. Is Spanish Federación Española de Automovilismo sanction, but supervised by the Federación Balear de Automovilismo. So what happened is that on Wednesday we got an email saying, "What actions are you gonna take in consideration?" And we said, "Okay, we're gonna cancel all the major massive amount of people together. We're gonna be canceling the prize giving ceremony, the briefing, or the starting podium ceremony, everything." So I have to say the authorities, they were a little bit confused. They're like, oh, hold on. Can we really stop this or not? Can we really make this happen, or is it depending on us or not? So we sneak in through Wednesday when we rolled them back, and on Thursday, our participants were carrying saying like, "Tony, are we really rallying today?" I say, yeah, sure, everything under control. All I was waiting was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so there won't be any state employees sending me any faxes or emails saying that we cannot start the rally. So at 2 p.m. I said, we started the rally. So we started the rally on Thursday, and when the people arrived in the afternoon night, they say, "Are we starting tomorrow?" I say, "Yes, we are." I say, "Wow, that's brilliant." So we started on Friday. And then during Friday, during the day, we were in contact with the Royal Motorsport Association. Oh my God!
Papi,
I'm in the middle of a show.
Papi,
What's up?
escúchame.
I'm busy. I'm really busy. Can you hold your mouth? Sorry, guys.
Papi,
This is the problem, man. I have. Hey,
escúchame,
Mama.
escúchame, papi.
Lucas, sorry. I pass the word to somebody else. Give me 1 second.
Okay, well,
You can
actually,
see
you
it's
could
live.
pass the word to me.
Thank you very much, Toni, for starting off this this chat show by chatting away. And no formal introduction was required. Fortunately, most people know who Toni Dezcallar is from the Rally Isla Mallorca. And he is actually our special guest today, but as you can see, he's already overtaken the whole show. We're also delighted to welcome Marcus Gedlich. Sorry if I haven't said that correctly, Marcus. He's one of our sponsors and a founding member of Gentleman Mallorca. He's also our track driving expert. Company is Gedlich Racing, and he arranges unforgettable track days all over Europe. Stefan Pietzsch is or Stefano, we have to call Stefano now because we have two Stefans, and Stefano decided he volunteered to be Stefano, so he has some Italian blood, so he's become Stefano. Is the club ambassador for Mallorca. He was the president of Driving Mallorca, and he's also one of our founding members. Peter Redrin is normally asked to come in and explain a little bit about what's going on in the club. But today he's actually, he has technical problems with his new house. Surprise, surprise. And he's actually asked whether we wouldn't mind sort of just carrying on without him. Also, he normally helps me with the Zoom controls and allowing people into the meeting. I hope that I will hear when people come in and I will be able to let them in. But in the meantime, we shall just carry on. Just to give a little bit of background information on Toni Dezcallar, you probably know him as the multi-talented, multilingual organizer of the Rally Clásico Isla Mallorca, one of the main annual sporting events on the island, which is based out of the Puerto Portals Marina. He's also the person who dragged me into the world of classic cars many years ago with his Mallorca driving, points-based classic car rental company, which I remember with great fondness. I was one of the main organizers of a classic yacht regatta in Palma, and he and Russell Stevens, the alma mater of our club, decided that would be a good idea.
12, 13 y 14 de marzo, arrancamos el jueves día 12 a las 7 de la tarde aquí en Puerto Portal. Viernes 13 tocamos la parte norte de la isla cuando vamos a la Calobra. Tramo nuevo desde el Golf Blau hasta el Mirador de Ses Barques. Y el sábado, muy interesante la forma que está hecho el timing, el rally por la mañana. Son 2 tramos por la mañana, vuelta a parque de asistencia en Puerto Portal y vuelta a salida. Por tanto, buen día sábado 14 para por la mañana poder disfrutar de todos los coches que vayan entrando y saliendo del puerto. Como sabéis, este año hemos acercado Mickey Viación, hemos traído Mickey Viación al rally para poderlo acercar al automovilismo balear. Obviamente lo podéis disfrutar de tanto los tramos como el Puerto Portal. Él correrá con un Lancia Delta Integrale, un 16 válvulas, pero os quiero recordar que se van a sortear 2 asientos de copiloto a partir de hoy, día 5 de marzo, a través de nuestras redes sociales, y que se darán a conocer esos 2 asientos el miércoles día 11 de marzo entre las 6 y las 8 de la tarde en Almacenes Ferragut, en Son de Bodellas, donde Mickey Viación estará para firmar autógrafos entre las 6 y las 7, y de 7 a 8 hará un pequeño show, espectáculo con el vehículo. Os esperamos a todos, estáis todos bienvenidos. Como sabéis, la entrada es gratuita y nos gustaría mucho contar con la máxima presencia de aficionados y lancistas el miércoles de hoy.
Well, that's all very interesting.
We didn't know on 5th of March that Mickey Viación was not going to make it. Sorry.
Carry on. That's okay.
No,
I'm just
but
going to ask you some questions, and but you can fill in as you want. I mean, it's really about your rally. We're interested in hearing it, but let me just start at somewhere a little bit more basic, like Toni. How and when did you first become interested in cars?
Very long time ago. I think I was sleeping already with cars in my hands. I mean, the first cars I truly remember in my head were those Buragos on the scale. I don't remember what the scale was, but it was a it was a Lancia 037 Hertz edition and the Lancia S4. Those were the first cars that I had conscious when I was little, and I would say I was 6 years old, and since then, nowadays, so my name is Toni Dezcallar, and I like cars, and I know about cars and good-looking cars. I don't know anything else on that order, unfortunately. And this is a joke that I keep making, but it's my passion, and as I guess any other person in this club, I'm a petrol head. I'm absolutely crazy for cars and motorsport in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which was did you really start racing rallies when you were 6 years old, or what was your first experience in classic rallies?
My first experience in rallies was in my first rally, I remember perfectly, was the Trofeo Baleares. It was the second weekend of March in 2004. And my debut, I did it with the Seat 124 Sport. It took me a year and almost 18 months to build it. And like everybody else, amateur, we were testing the brake pads as we were going to the Mallorca Arena to do the scrutineering. And I was so ingenious that I thought that I could, or naive, that I thought that I could beat the Porsches with a Seat 124 with a standard gearbox and a limited split differential. Of course, then there were Porsches with over 60,000 euros of engines, with 300 plus engines. And of course, I realized that that was not that easy. And in racing, the more I realized how quick the people drive, not only in cycle racing, which is very, very, you need to be a compass, you know, you need to do everything perfect. But my heart is in rallying, and there you have a minimum margin for error. So, and I see how the young people, they drive really, really fast on rallying nowadays. Yeah. Sorry, maybe it was, did I answer the question? Yes, no?
More or less, yeah, just about. So, which has been your favorite rally car, and how well did you do with it?
Oh, very difficult, huh? So far, I've always built my rally cars. I never bought them because I think part of the fun is to know what you do with it and so on. So my first one was a Seat 124 Sport. The second was a BMW 200 Turbo. There is only 1,672 units in the world. Then I bought a Ferrari 308 fiberglass version. There is only 712 in the world. And then I rescue a Mitsubishi Lancer Turbo, a two-wheel drive. This is the father from all the Evos, Lancer Evos four-wheel drive, but the Mitsubishi Lancer Turbo, it's a very peculiar car. And then I just built a Toyota Celica ST165, and I'm on the process of building two other cars right now, a Corolla, a World Rally Car Corolla, and a Toyota Celica Carlos Sainz ST185. And my heart will say the Ferrari is the one that I wanted to have. I was 29 years old when I say I managed to have it. The story is very beautiful, but maybe for another day. But there was no room for me inside the car. I'm 6'4", I'm 1.92 m, 93, and with the helmet and everything, there was barely any room. And to be honest, I didn't have the money to afford to have any accidents with the Ferrari, and therefore I had the money to buy it and build it, but not to afford to go fast or to try to go any faster than I should. So the car that has given me more good moments, good pleasure, has been the Mitsubishi, because I raced with it in the European champion, Spanish champion, and won World Rally Championship edition in Portugal. And it was a fantastic car. Has 1981 with a lot of lack of no quick steering, no brakes, but a fantastic engine and a fantastic gearbox and traction. So yeah. Yeah, for me, the Mitsubishi, so far, I will tell you in 2 years' time if it's the Toyota, but until now, it's the Mitsubishi, yes.
And how much rallying are you actually doing now, and fixing cars or building them, and having 4 kids, is it, you said?
My wife wants another one. I say, find a sponsor. So I'm not willing to sponsor any more kids, but this is a internal discussion. But yeah, as I say, I love to build them. I'm more than happy when somebody calls me and say, hey, I'm going to build a Ford Escort. I say, fantastic, you're going for the perfect car, easy to build, parts available, good price, so fantastic. If there is anything I can help you, yeah, do you know where to? So I can, if I can have an answer for that person, and yeah, call Mark Soloway. He's the king of the escorts. You can call him, or I can even call him from here. Mark, this is Toni Dezcallar. So-and-so is going to call you. He's a good friend of mine. Please take care of him. I love to do that. I think I answered you about the cars, the projects that I'm on. I don't know with this coronavirus how the situation, if we're going to be able to really proceed with them quickly or slowly, but so far so good. And yeah, this is it's my passion. If I would be billionaire, I would love to have a un quirófano, laboratory of building cars, of building rally cars. This will be not to make money, but to see the process of from a scratch car from a donor and going out on the street with number plates saying, okay, you were dead and we brought you alive, and now you're going to be on the kingdom of the cars, which is being a rally car, you know. So
I don't know if you've ever seen Stefan's garage, but you know, maybe you could have a word with him. He's definitely got, I mean, Stefano, he's certainly got you know, space to build a car or two, and he kind of does it quite often. Tell us about your rally, Toni. How many editions have you organized to date?
Yeah, well, it was 16 editions now, and I was sharing, I don't know if it was who was yesterday, I was saying, you know, every time that we manage to go on overbooking, we have a problem or a situation. So this year we were literally overbooked because to accept more than 100 cars, it's becoming a challenge or even a problem, yeah. Logistically wise. But yeah, now we have the coronavirus, COVID-19. I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to be able to do it next year? If you ask me, I think unless there is another comeback of the COVID in November or something, the rally will be explosion next year, because I can see how many Germans, Belgians, Swiss people, Belgians, they're contacting me saying, Toni, we don't know when we're going to be rallying. Like the earliest is going to be September, October, and it's going to be already too cold and so on. So I think this year I did your rally, and next year I will start in your rally again. So the amount of interest on the rally, it's still quite high. But on the other hand, there is an economical, very important economical part, which I don't know how much will damage. You know, we always say all these millionaires that they have so much money, you know, on crisis moments, you know, they always stay above the sea line, you know, they float. No, they don't have the problem. 10,000 euros to spend on a rally is not the problem, but not everybody is in that position, and we will have to see if we will manage again to reach the 100 cars or not. But I'm aiming to do it again. It will be the second week of March again, and in October is when we ask the dates for the rally for 2021. So as soon as I have the dates, I will confirm them to you. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we'll look forward to getting the dates. Obviously, we hope that it will be a successful rally, and I would think that from what I'm gauging, there's quite a lot of enthusiasm among the gentlemen driving members, and I can tell you we went straight through 100, and I think we're, I don't know, about 110 or 12 members now.
There was 3 members today, I think. Yeah, so it's increasing quite rapidly.
It is increasing rapidly, and both Peter Redrin, the president, who's not with us, and Sonia Tani, who is with us actually, and is our secretary, doing a great job, even in times where, you know, we're really not able to do any driving. I mean, this is the close we can get to being at the boathouse. You can see it just behind me there, and you know, really getting out on the road is a bit of a problem. But anyway, we're hoping for better things. At least we're able to go out and do a little bit of sport. So that is really good. But tell me something, what are you doing? I mean, I know you have a limit of 100 cars and you can meet that number quite easily. And especially because I imagine, you know, 5 or 10 of our cars will probably want to join you, maybe, if you're very nice to us, or we're nice to you, I'm not sure, for next year. But what are you doing about bringing new and younger participants to come into rallying?
Yeah, this is I'm quite transparent myself when people ask me things, and there is other events that they ask me, event organizers say, well, but you have this thing and you charge so much money and so on. But how do you manage to go? I say, look, I stopped doing advertising on magazines and so on. And honestly, my best card is when I go to an event and I present myself and I explain to people, and I ended to new drivers saying, if you don't like my event, I return you the money. And so far I haven't not returned any money so far, any inscriptions. But the best way to do it is when I go to an event, and at the end the people talk to each other. You know, now today we're 7 people here, but this is recorded. Last weekend there was a Steve and Seb. Steve Perez, like Dan Sport, is probably my ambassador in UK, and only this team, it covers 10% of my participants. And so it's and at the end they've been growing. They came 3 cars, then a year later 5, then they came 10, then they came 15, then 2 of them brought the cars. So the mouth to mouth, boca a boca, it's the best advertising. And I at the end I go to new events to present myself, like what's the name? The one fantastic rally is a show rally. It's there's one in San Marino called the Rally Legend, for instance. But there you can find a lot of modern, we call them modern cars. Keep in mind that a World Rally car is already 25 years old. But we find younger people. This year we had we opened the World Rally car section, and there was a Belgian car, Lars Sanders. He has 3 Works World Rally car Escort Cosworth, and he's joining next year with 2. He came this one year himself, and now next year he's coming with 2 friends, with another friend. Probably by the end of the year there will be 4, and then we'll end coming 2 or 3 if I'm lucky. So the people who come and race a rally at the end, they really get hooked. I remember a British gentleman that came to the rally one year with Alfa Romeo. Following year came with a Jaguar E-Type. And then that year he invited me to a race in Snetterton, a 6-hour entrance race. And when I came to his house, they're like, you cost me more than £300,000. I said, like, but I charge 2,800 euros for the inscription. Say, I bought 2 E-Types plus a third one donor plus a Mark II plus a Mustang plus, I say, you're stupid, stop buying cars, just buy one, you know, I get a lot of spares for it, so keep the E-Type. But and I have a very good relationship with this gentleman. But yeah, it's a drug, and I understand if you can afford to pay for it, then this is at the end, to have a watch like this. When you leave, the watch is going to stay here. But the rallies I race, the race that Marcus has raced through his professional and fun later on fun life, is this. He will take them with him. This is the experience that you're going to take with you, you know. So yeah, I think that we make something very fun, very beautiful for people to have fun and to enjoy during 3 days in Mallorca.
Yeah. Tony, you mentioned Seb Perez. I mean, you know, he's a wonderful example. We had him on the show last week.
Yeah.
With his father. He's only 20 years old, I think, if I remember. So he's already winning your rally, but he's also going to compete in GT4. Which is probably really exciting for him. And yet, you know, he's able to do both. Obviously, he's managed to find the sponsorship or the money or whatever he needs. I think petrol is being given away at the moment, so that's probably not the big problem. But yeah, he's a great example. And I just remember one of the officials at one of the rallies that Peter and I did earlier in the year, the Sol Ponent, was complaining that they weren't able to attract new people into the sport. But you actually have some other means of bringing people into the sport of racing. You have a business that involves e-carts at the Mallorca Fashion Outlet in Marachí. So what is that business all about? Surely that's about introducing people into the world of racing.
Well, you mentioned at the beginning of the introduction when we used to have Mallorca driving. Mallorca driving was a complement to the rally, because we used to have 13 cars, and what happened at the end that there were not 13 but 10 extra entries into the rally. So that again, as I say, I like cars and chicks, and anything related with it turns me on. So what I can, my feints, where I get my income is not relevant now, but it is relevant, the fact that the rally has been, it's professionalized now. It's not a joke anymore. It's an event where we charge money and we need to provide the service. Now, the rest of the year, 5 years ago, I was really thinking on how can I compensate this, I say with a little bit of fun with now behind, how can I compensate the smoke that I launch around the island? And I after racing with go-karts as an amateur, not professional, not even professional go-karts, but spend money with friends in go-karting in Germany, in Mannheim, in an indoor go-kart racetrack, and then testing or driving here in Mallorca on the outdoors. I think that the indoors experience is fantastic because everything goes faster. Even though you're going 50 kilometers an hour, you go faster in the inside and the indoor go-kart racetrack than on the outdoor go-kart racetrack. So this was something that was missing here in Mallorca. And 5 years ago, we came back with this proposal of giving the Mallorquins a indoor go-kart racetrack, and to compensate this CO2 was the first electric indoor go-kart racetrack in Spain. Now, I'm not going to tell you my little battles because I was victim of a fraud as a how you call this as a franchisor, as a franchise person. Wow. But then I managed to carry on, and I been doing some tests in Holland, especially while I was dating my actual wife. And I did a lot of karting testing, indoor karting in Holland. Holland is the country with more indoor go-kart racetracks per habitant. So I had the opportunity to really test, as I was going there paying and saying, okay, so this kart is this, and this. So we managed to come back with a new proposal, which was a lithium go-kart, which they can go up to 40 minutes on full speed. Now, this is not what they're meant to be. They're meant to be 8 minutes racing, 8 minutes charging, and we managed to do that. And now now it's shut down because of the COVID, but the business was working really well. And while we were locked down, I had the new product. I'll send you later on a photo, and it's I don't know if Marcus is interested in this. I will send it to you, Marcus, later on. It's a kind of a wheel that gets into the normal wheel of the car, in that case the go-kart, but it's produced for normal cars, and it's a drift experience. And I paid one set of these tires, and I test drove it, and I have to say it's quite an experience. They're not made of PVC. No, they have like 9 different plastics in it, and I have to say it's very interesting. If it works, we are in the process to restart our racetrack, to change it so we have a new racetrack, and to offer this drift experience hopefully in the next 2 months when we are open again. So I more than welcome anybody on the club to join us there. We will maybe have to do a something, even though it's €1, but something, an agreement, so that you guys are keen on coming and have fun with us at the e-carts. Yeah.
Well, don't forget that we will be speaking to Stefano Pietzsch later on, and he's going to be talking to us a little about the Driving Mallorca or the Gentleman Driving Mallorca calendar for events locally, and we certainly want to have an e-cart event at some point. So we'll be coming back to you on that. Just a couple of final questions.
Wait, Stefan, nobody can hear you because you have clicked. Stefan.
Don't worry about that. I have muted him. I will open the microphones later.
All right,
on.
sorry.
Don't worry.
You know, Alvaro is trying to get in.
Alvaro,
yeah.
I can't see him.
Alvaro Fontes is trying to get in. Huh?
Okay, just to let you know, I believe it's the latest. Okay. You will be up next, Marcus. I can't see him, so if he is trying to get in, I'm very sorry, but I can't find him just now.
And Stefan is also. He sent me a message on the WhatsApp. And they're both trying to get in.
Right. Well, I don't know. They're not coming up on here as trying to get in for some reason, because only I can let them in, unfortunately. I'd love to do that. Let me just see if there's somewhere else I can look. I don't think so. Everything is looking the way it should look. I mean, normally I get a little ping or something comes up on my screen telling me that somebody wants to get in, but I don't see that, so I can't really respond to that. Just one last question for you, Toni. What do you think we'll ever see electric rallying?
Yes, for sure. For sure. I was challenged to produce something last year, and it was a Renault Twizy. I can send you photos later on of as a two-seater electric homologated car. Marcus is laughing. Maybe he knows something about these things, but I was challenged. to do a roll cage on it and to do a zero car for season 221. And I mean, the thing, I don't want to extend myself because this is a reason to make another chat for electrical and with people that they really know what they're talking about. But for my experience on the go-karts, the electric engine, it's the king. There's no comparison. Doesn't matter if you want to put a turbo and a compressor and a twin turbo, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, you want this? We put more copper around, and we get more kilowatts. And the torque of the electric power, it's priceless. You cannot pay nothing compared to that. So at the end, it's going to be, I think, that how we are going to be ending. And you see on the actual World Rally Championship nowadays, they're starting to be forced for 221 or 222 to race with hybrid cars.
Right.
Don't forget that at the end, we all benefit from this technology thanks to the motorsport. I mean, something as easy as the VTEC from Honda, the VTEC VTI from Honda, which is used on this is the change of this varies the angle, not the angle, but the axis of the valves, of the timing of the valves. And because it allows to get more torque on the low ratio and go very, very high in the high end. Every single car nowadays has this technology.
Allow me to interrupt you, please, because Marcus, unfortunately, I think he has left. Are you still there, Marcus? Yes, you are.
Oh, he's here.
I'm on mute. Yes.
I think you.
I'm still here, but I have to leave. Yeah, I have to be out 6:45, which is 60 seconds ahead, roughly.
Well, I'm sorry that I didn't know that, and because you were going to be coming on next, but I hope you can join us very soon, or if I can ask you a few questions and you can answer them now, or at least introduce you for another show, or do you need to leave right away?
I need to leave in a minute, but when is the next show going to be? So I take more time then if I know a bit longer in advance.
Marcus, we're doing one every Monday at this time at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That is the idea. So thanks for coming. Sorry, I wasn't aware that you needed to leave. Otherwise, we could have maybe done things a little bit differently. But I do want to just say thanks for coming on, Marcus, who from Gedlish Racing is a racing 20-year racing career. has many international victories, mainly driven in BMW and Porsche. He's got 3 world records and 15 24-hour race, international 24-hour races in his CV. His most important success is winning the German championship in the 2-liter racing cars and the overall victory at the international 6-hour race on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And I'm sorry if I didn't say that properly. But his company, and I'd love to ask you about one-to-one coaching, registered trademark, but I think that that's not going to be possible. And we hope to have you on the next show that's possible for you to be here.
Yes, it will be possible. So I'm going to prepare myself a bit more for that and allocate more time in my schedule. So it's probably better than to squeeze something in now, just in a couple of seconds.
Super. And also, I think, Marcus, that we'll be wanting to have you come back and explain in your different capacities, because you are a sponsor of Gentlemen Driving. You're one of the founding members, and you are also our expert on track days. So we're going to be wanting to hear a lot more from you and another day. Thanks for being there now, and we're going to pass on to our invited ambassador. And that today.
Thank you very much. And Tony, don't forget to call me.
I will call you, promise, but maybe later on tonight, because I have,
or tomorrow.
I have to go to do bath to the kids. Take care, Marcus. Lovely to see you.
Care.
Super. So that's a pity that Stefano has had to leave. That's the things with these live programs, and unfortunately, we had a little bit of a problem communicating, so he wasn't aware, perhaps, of the timetable. But Stefano Pietzsch, how do you say your surname, Stefano?
It's called Pietzsch.
Pietzsch.
And then after that, De Rossi, which
De
is
Rossi.
Italian. De Rossi.
Listen, Stefano is our ambassador in Mallorca, and it's really his job, although I'm going to be helping him to work out the calendar events that we will be celebrating, or things we'll be able to. Oh, I just heard somebody wanting to come in, and I think I've allowed them to come in, and that would be very good. So that was Alvaro Fontes. There he is, and I didn't have a problem letting him in, so that's good that he's here. But people don't know a great deal about Stefano. Actually, he is he's with myself and another person, and Russell. We started off the Driving Mallorca in 2014, I think it was, and we've carried on, and we're very happy to now be what we're doing at the moment. So, Stefano, how did you start driving? Where did your passion for cars come from?
Well, I always liked to drive fast. I remember when I was, my first car was a NSU Prince TT when I was 18 years old. That was my first one, and since then, well, I've gone through many cars. Many of them were just normal little cars, and I went up improving on the machinery, and my first really nice car, let's say, was the Ferrari 348 that I bought sometime in 1990, and well, I went with the Ferrari club over on several racetracks, and we made a big trip to Portugal, and I met many other people with very interesting and fine cars. And well, it was a joy driving that car. And short after that, I did get myself a Cobra, a Shelby Cobra replica built, and that has been my toy all time long. Yeah, I've taken it apart and changed things, and now, even after the accident that I had with Russell, and I had the car about 5 years standing around in the body shop and having the engine out and repairing things. And that's the car that I used in many of Toni Dezcallar's rally. I think I took part in about 13 or 14 rallies. Yeah. with Toni. Yeah, 10. Yeah, except the last one. The last one, I didn't have my car. I don't. Although I had a friend of mine told me I could drive her Cobra, but I prefer to drive mine. So if I trash it, it's my fault. It's my car, and I don't have anyone just pointing at me that I did it wrong, or drove too fast or whatever. So it has been the rallies. It has been the racetracks that I visited with the Ferrari 348, and since I'm in Mallorca, it has been the roads on the island that have been a great place to drive. I mean, depending on the time of the day and which day, you can drive around quite spirited, and that's what I do usually.
So what are the nicest types of driving that we do in Mallorca, just so that people know?
Well, for me, one of the nicest drives is either the Tramontana, yeah, going to Andrade, and all the way along that road to Yuc, and from there down to Pollença. That's a very nice thing. And the other one, of course, is going up the Puigmayor road, which is a magnificent road with very, very correct cambered turns, and it's quite wide for Mallorcan roads, and I like it also very much. I mean, going up there with my Cobra, hearing the sound reverb on the valley, it's just it's just fantastic. But you know that you've driven with me there.
Yeah, I'm one of the privileged few people, I think, that has been allowed to drive Stefano's Cobra, and I have to say it's a life-changing experience in so many ways. Actually, it really is. It's something very special, and we won't talk too much about my driving his Cobra, but let's just say that it survived. So did we. Tell me, what sort of events are we programming, or are we going to have, once we can jump back into our cars, Stefano?
Well, we had great plans for this year in organizing drives again. Actually, we went one day a few months and a half ago. Oh, no, what was that? That was in January or something like this, to look out for places to drive and restaurants to stop at and so on. And we had already one drive organized, which was going to be to the lighthouse of the Salines, going through the Porreres Road and so on, and then having lunch at in Casa Manolo, who also is a car fan. He also has a Cobra, and that's what we have planned for. And then everything blew up because of this coronavirus lockup. But that's about one of the first driving events we're going to take up again. As soon as we are let loose, and that should be a very nice site. It's a very good road. So I think we're going to have much more or less cyclists after this virus lockup. So it's going to be much more fun driving around.
Yeah.
And that's one we're going to do. That's the first one we're going to take on.
Yeah.
And the next thing we are planning one right in that's going to be the 23rd of May, if everything goes well and this lockdown doesn't get prolonged another 15 days. And then for early June, exactly the 7th of June, that's exactly the day when Russell passed away. We're going to have the Russell Stephen Memorial Drive, and that we're going to meet at the boathouse. It's the place the picture you got in your back, and what a drive. We don't have planned that yet where it's going to go, but we're going to try to have every month one drive, because I personally, I mean, this thing here on the video conferencing here is very nice, and looking at races on TV, it's nice. I like more being part in the action. I like more driving myself, and so we have things organized for July. We have here penumbral moon, early morning drive to San Telmo. That's going to be nice, and we should also do one very early one, going to the Formentor lighthouse and see the sun coming up. That must be fantastic. That we have to organize too. So we have some work to do. We have to take the car and go out, and one day, if you can find time, I have time. I am retired. I'm an old man. I'm retired. And I have all the time in the world, but you still have to take care of business. So
I definitely will. I mean, let's do that. I mean, we have great fun when we go out, even if it's, you know, by car or by motorbike, and we go hunting and we go scouting for areas to come. And we'll be letting people know about that. So if they want to come with us, they'll be more than welcome to, especially if there's any bikers out there, which we know there are. So that will be really good. So that's more or less a summary of some of the things we're going to have, we'll be doing. Of course, we'll be able to join in all the events of Gentlemen Driving Mallorca and on the various different, on the mainlands in particular. And we're all waiting to really see what can be done and what can't be done. And we'll sort of go from there. I don't know if anybody else heard you, but there was a bit of a problem with your microphone there. And I'm suggesting now that if anybody would like to ask some questions to Merel Schocker, oh no, he's Toni Dezcallar, I mean. Marcus has left, Stefano, myself, I'm going to open the microphones. And if you want to, if you find that, if you'd like to speak, if you'd like to say anything at all, just please intervene. We'll be carrying on, but I'll be preparing we'll be preparing for next week. We'll be back again on Monday at the same time, which is 6 o'clock Central European time. And we'll be inviting people from different countries to participate in our show. We now have members in the United States. We have members in Germany, Austria. We have ambassadors as well. These are people that are trying to help us push the numbers up and get more people involved. We really want to give our members something pretty special. We want to be able to go and enjoy events in other countries, and we want to encourage them to come here and join up with us. So it looks like, you know, we can't really go driving yet, but I think we soon will be able to. I thought perhaps we could organize a picnic if we can't go to somewhere where the restaurants are open. At least we can, you know, take some bocadillos and go and enjoy that. So before I open the microphones, I just want to say big thanks to special guest Toni Dezcallar, Stefano Pietzsch. Unfortunately, Marcus is going to be invited back another day, couldn't really join us, so we didn't hear from him. But thanks everybody for joining, and I'm just going to open up the microphones now for anybody to say whatever you would like.
It is you shutting the microphone, so we cannot speak, huh?
Yes, that is something I can do. You can do it yourselves, or I can do it for you. So if somebody's making a bit of a noise in the background and I can identify who it is, you know, I can stop them, because it can interfere with the rest of with everybody else. It's amazing. As you do more Zoom conferences, and I've done quite a few of them, even people who are tapping on their mobile phone, if they're looking at the Zoom through their mobile phone, that will set off their microphone, and you can hear it.
I think Pio has a question. I don't know if it's for me or for Stefano.
No, I just want to fill in on what Gentlemen Driving can do. And one of the first things we can get going is, of course, the meeting, the car show at the boathouse, where where we are a co-sponsor, and Russell was taking this initiative for. And it's a great meet, and it's very easy to pull off. It's just advertised we are meeting again, and we get in the crowd in. And I believe when the Boathouse show starts again, it will be very, very packed out. I think we will be really strapped for room for all the cars. Everybody's sitting home and can't wait to meet again. And the meeting at the Boathouse every week is very casual, but we do get the finest cars there is on the island. The owners coming to have a chat. We get the tourists in to look at the cars, talk with owners, and it's turned out to be a real show, a real car show. Open, free for all, free parking. And for the start of the show, now we have gentlemen driving. We will start with a bang. We got new advertising material. We got banners, and we will try to make the show even more of a show. So it really feels that you are in a car show when you're coming to the Boathouse. And we do all this together with the Classic Car Club of Mallorca and the American Car Club, which give us a good width on the clientele for the show, make it very interesting. We got many different cars. We got everything from Stefan's Cobra and to Fiat 500s. And anybody with a special car are welcome to have a chat. That was it for me. Yeah.
Okay, so who has questions? Toni, have you met Álvaro Fontes? Do you know Álvaro?
No, I'm watching. Encantado, Álvaro.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Encantado.
Te voy a buscar luego, a ver, porque tengo mucha curiosidad. Veo el casco, pero creo que si no eres profesional, eres piloto profesional, ¿tú, verdad?
Bueno, casi, sí. Empecé hace ya 15 años y al final pues se ha convertido casi en profesión. Tengo que trabajar como abogado, que es lo que soy, pero es verdad que sí, he corrido muchos campeonatos y muchas carreras y he tenido suerte de mantenerme.
Súper, súper. Bueno, luego que cada uno se incorpora cuando puede. Luego, si quieres, yo creo que es mejor que veas el resumen que Jonathan nos sube a la web, pero estoy a tu disposición si quieres algo, igual que todos los demás. Si queréis algo de mí, sabéis dónde encontrarme. Y bueno.
Guys, that was you spoke very well in Spanish. There's no reason why we can't speak in Spanish, but some of us don't understand Spanish.
Sorry, apologize.
Perfect English, you know. Sorry. What's wrong with English?
No problem whatsoever. Sorry, my fault.
Amy, what are you laughing for? How good is your Spanish now? Hold on, I will just unmute you.
No, there we go. No, my Spanish is not good. I'm doing Duolingo at the moment. I've got a question for Toni, actually, because whenever I write about the rally, I give it a good shout. And I do that in absolute confidence because I've taken part a couple of times. And I often describe it as one of the Mediterranean's best closed road classic car rallies. I know there's things like the Mille Miglia, which is a totally different thing, but is there any other events that you think are comparable to, I'm afraid my knowledge is not necessarily good enough to say that it's one of the best, but I think I'm pretty sure it is. But are there any other rallies that you think are comparable to the Rally Classico on Mallorca?
The thing is, I try to explain that, but of course there is so much information, we could be spending hours here. The thing is that I think the success of the rally at the end is that it doesn't belong to any championship or anything like that. And I've been many times requested by the Royal Motorsport Association of Spain to become part of the Campeonato de España de Clásicos. Even they asked me if I would like to put my rally on prescription for the European Championship and so on. And the thing is that the rally is mine, and I don't want to sound rude, neither snobby, but the rally is mine, and I set up the rules to my clients, to my friends that they come to race the rally. Now, this is the success of the rally, because once you become under the umbrella of a the European Championship, they start to limit you. You know, they put you a Tetris, so and you cannot move out of this. For instance, 3 rally day, not possible. It has to be one night and one day. But I mean, the people are taking a boat. At least you need to do 2 days and 1 night. This is wrong. That cannot be. Okay, you need to apply for these and these. So it's not of my interest. So it reached a point when the Modena Centauri started, they compared the Modena Centauri to my rally. And that was at the beginning of the Modena Centauri, was the beginning of my rally. Because the cars were all classic cars. But I am 41 years old, and my heart, the first rally cars that I remember were the Delta Integrales. So one of the events I mentioned on my time 15 minutes ago was the Rally Legend from San Marino. The Legend from San Marino, there are like hundreds of cars. It's the other event is the Eiffel Rally is probably the king of the non-time cat events. It's a show event, ¿vale? Okay, and that means this is another criteria, but it's a successful event. Now, our event is quite unique because it's got the flavor, it's got the comfort of having the same hotel for the 3 days. Even though a lot of people think that 2,800 euros is a lot of money, some people find that they say, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's not expensive. So what does that mean? It means that if you can afford to spend 2,800 euros on an entry, then you will get rewarded for what you get. When you can compare to the Costa Brava rallies in Dezcallar, there was a brilliant rally called Vienna Trieste. I raced it, I participated. And it was more like a tour. It was started in Vienna, ended in Trieste. You went through Slovenia and so on. So I haven't found a rally of 3 days like mine so far, but there are other rallies with a similar, not exactly the same criteria, which they organize their own show and they're working very, very well. So can I compare to other rallies? Not really, but I do have my drivers that they race in Modena Centauri. I don't think I have any more drivers that they rally on the Tour Auto anymore. And even though they are multi-millionaires, they started to get a little bit pissed off to pay 10 or 12,000 euros for an entry. And this is where they're reaching a point saying like, look, there is no point of charging, not because I have a 3 million euro car. That means that probably I have the 3 or 4, probably I have 10 of those 3 million euro cars because I don't simply waste my money, because I look carefully where I do want to spend the money. And I don't need to show off my Ferrari Daytona or my Aston Martin DB4 Zagato or things like that, you know? There are people that say, I don't need it. And one of the things I realized, a substantial amount of our drivers, they have a massive collection of cars, but at the end, they like to win. It's an honor to win in Mallorca. So this is the reason why they come in with a Porsche, because the 911 is the winning car in Mallorca. It's been proved many, many times, as you all know. I wish it would be different because I have my own opinion about the Käfers, the Volkswagen Beetles with anabolics. This is what I think about Porsches, but with all the respect, of course. No, this is of course a joke. I think it's a fantastic car. It's the only car in the world that you can go leave your kids in school, go to work on the weekend, go to the racetrack and back again into the garage, and you probably don't even have to check the oil. But yeah, no, I don't think there is another. I don't think there is another rally like ours. I don't think there is another island like ours either.
This is true.
I would like to just ask Toni if he has any special offers for the members of driving with regard to this rally.
I remember when we did the Mallorca driving, you know, which you mentioned before. You were part of the. We confused you. We took you out of the Conde Barcelona. how we get Jonathan Syrett in it. So we managed to hook you in, and thanks God, I'm very honored to say that you are still hooked on the cars. Then I thought yesterday, say, look, we were giving a discount. The rally was giving a discount to the Rally Isla the Mallorca Driving Club. Now, Mallorca Driving Club doesn't exist anymore, but we have a fantastic new club, which is the Gentleman Driving Club. And I thought that it would be a possibility to offer a 10% discount. You know, it's not going to make me richer. It's not going to make people richer. It's not going to make me poorer. But it is going to make, it's going to incentive people saying, okay, look, this is a club member who has a brilliant event, and we like cars. We want to help him. He is being keen to you know, we say in Spanish, say, two hands wash each other, and one hand wash each hand wash each other, and two hands wash the face. So this is one of my offers. And the other one I thought, so when Stefano is going to prepare, or with you, we're going to prepare an event on the karting, the go-kart racetrack, it's very easy to put a name, address, email, so-and-so, and say, okay, this is a member, and automatically he's get, again, the margin of the go-kart is very limited, but doesn't matter, even if it is a beer, or if it is every time €2, or a club, or an already club signed up in the karting, I am willing to do that. So these are two offers. I will pass to you and to Peter, and as well to Stefano on black and white, because, you know, whatever I say here, of course we have witnesses, but the best is saying, hey, Rally Isla Mallorca is keen on giving a 10% discount for early inscription before that date for the Mallorca driving members. So we could do that, and I'm committing myself with you guys to do it. So.
Well, that's great, Tony, and the recording is still on, so you're on camera. You're on Zoom camera.
No problem. My word is stronger than oak. Don't worry.
Okay. Any other questions for Tony or Stefano? Anybody like to join in, say anything at all?
I'm going to feed my kids if there is no more questions. Alvaro doesn't know, but I have 4 kids, so it's a little bit confusing with this. While we're locked down, it's been a very stressy situation. Yeah. If anyone needs a kit to borrow for a couple of days, I have all kind of colors, flavors, ages, anything. Feel free. Don't charge rent for it, okay?
Okay, we'll remember that. And thank you very much indeed, Tony, for appearing on the chat show. Everybody else, have a safe week. And let's see if we can move into phase 1 soon.
Yeah.
Soon we'll also be able to go out, and 10 of us will be able to get together, as long as we don't touch each other, and maintain social distancing and all of that, and don't get ill. And have a happy week. Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time and listening.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.